Alright, so I just got done fishing. I decided I want to do a little bit of a different video. I'm excited to do it too. It was just a tough day on the water, but before I start, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to me and watches the videos, takes the time out of their day to watch them. It means a lot to me. So I'll leave a time where I started fishing if you don't want like background information on what's kind of going on and how I went about the day. I'll leave the time there. So this certain creek that I'm fishing today, there's two creeks. There's this upper one and there's a bottom one, and both of them are connected to this particular lake. And in my past two videos, I recommend you guys check those ones out too. I fished the bottom one, where the dam runs out of the breast into that creek, and then the upper one where I'm at, if you go all the way to the end of this one, it spills into the upper end of the lake. And I have a couple videos too posted where I fished this lake for bass, so I'll leave those linked in the description if you guys want to check them out. So today I came to this upper creek, which I haven't fished in a while, and it was just one of those days where like nothing was going right already starting out. I forgot my treble hooks at home for my minis that I bought, so I was taking treble hooks off of lures that I have and old spinners, and right off the bat, I hooked into one and stuff. I'll show that later, but had a ton of action. I was walking downstream fishing, and when I winter fish for trout, I like to just go to the deepest holes I can find, pick them apart, fish slow, let something bounce off the bottom. I don't like to still use reaction style baits, spinners, and that people use. If I fly fish, I use real small egg patterns, maybe like real small woolly buggers. So I was walking down, and I didn't do a whole lot of talking today, so it's kind of why I'm doing this, so you guys understand. And I was walking, getting into some fish and everything, and I just hit a point where I just kept walking. And I figured, this creek goes down, it opens up into the lake there, I know it gets deeper. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk. So the further I walked, the less shallow it got, which didn't make sense to me. So I kept walking, thinking maybe it'd get deeper, kept walking, and nothing. So I turned around, and at that point I was kind of like, it was just one of those days where I was disgusted, and nothing was going right. It was turned into a bad day. So it didn't help, but like here in Pennsylvania, especially some parts of Maryland, winter we get screwed in fishing. We don't get cold enough weather to where we can ice fish, and then obviously it's not warm enough to go open water fish on lakes or anything, so you're stuck fishing creeks. Well, these two creeks that I've been fishing in particular are stocked by club. If anything that's stocked by state, you're not allowed to fish it in the winter after a certain date, so you're pretty limited. So these are like two creeks that I know I can fish, and that's just a little bit of background information on what happened, and I'll get in and show you what happened throughout the day. So my plan of attack today is to I kind of want to really take my time at some of these holes because it's in the 20s, it's cold. I know trout don't mind it as much, but it's just, I want to make sure I really cover some water today. So I'm going to put a split shot on here, and we're going to get at it. You guys ever want a cheap method for carrying minis? Just get a plastic squirt bottle. You can let water out like this, get it down enough to where they're not going to escape. Take the lid off and then fill it up with new water. You just gotta be careful that they don't jump out. It was $2 at a dollar store. There's one. Ah, that was a nice rainbow. I'm getting a phone call and just felt like a rock. Ooh, there he was. They're under there. Right now I'm walking up on a deeper hole, which it's like a bend, and the creek wraps around, and that current pushes up against logs that are over here on the other side. It's actually fairly deep, and I'm just hoping there's some trout tucked up against these stumps right now, and I'd like to catch at least one today. That's all I'm asking for now, it's just one. Oh, there was one. Took off with it, I don't know. Might have been a real little guy. What is that hitting it? Whatever it is, they're hitting it really hard. I don't know if the GoPro's picking up on it, but it must just be a real little one. There we go. There's a better one. Brown trout. Woo! It's about time I finally catch a decent fish. So I wanted to show you guys this brown I just caught. Come here, bud. So there he is. It's been a really slow day. Go up so you can see it better. Really slow day, but I mean, this is the biggest trout I've caught for a while now, and especially wintertime it gets really hard. So he hit really weird. I'm gonna let him go, get him back in the water. Oh no, that was a nice brown. Come on, they're barely hitting. Like, barely. It feels like a snag. You just pull up and it just feels like a snag. I was moving. Alright, so I just snapped off, and I know that there's a brown in there. So, well, there's at least two, but one of them's pretty nice, and then the other one I'm not so sure, so I'm just going to stick around this hole for a little bit, let that camera run, and see if I can catch one of these browns. There we go. Oh, that was such a nice brown trout. You gotta be joking right now. Oh my gosh. I can't keep him hooked. Just, I don't know what else to do. Come on. Well, a little midday update for you guys. I'm struggling today, losing a lot of fish, which I don't know why. Either these hooks I took off of the spinners and that are like garbage and they're not sharp, or the fish just really aren't. Oh, my net unhooked. But either they're just not hitting it that good, which I'm feeling some of the bites, so I don't know, it's just one of those weird days. So I'm gonna cross the creek, go hit this next spot. I'm like, I don't know, I blame the rod on that one, but I've caught plenty of fish using this rod where I've just pulled into it and they've stayed pinned, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go down here to this next spot and hopefully I can land one. I've already lost like 4 today. This hole might be promising. Might be. think that's a wrap. I think I'm heading home. I almost forgot to let my minnows go. I always do this after every one. The ones that survive get to go back in. There they go. Alright, well guys, back at the car, getting everything packed away, but I only managed to catch one today. That's the only one that I could actually land, but you know, I'm happy I landed one. Missed a lot, had a lot hooked, so it's just how it goes sometimes. I appreciate all of you guys watching and subscribing and everything, so just want to say thank you again, and see you on the next video.